Welcome to part 2 of the cosine law. Today we're actually going to look at one of the homework questions found on page 326, number 3A. Give you guys a moment to look at it and reproduce it. Again, the cosine law is actually off to the side, so maybe you didn't get a chance to see that from our previous video. I'm just going to move it back. It doesn't matter. I'm going to redo it. So they gave you this triangle VWX. That's our triangle. And with those lengths of x is 11.2, the length of v is 10.5, and notice the angle W is 43 degrees. So this question is obviously a cosine law question, but if you were seeing this for the first time, you have to recognize that this is a side angle side question. And a side angle side question, it covers them off screen, that's why you would use it, the cosine law. So what is the formula? So hopefully if the class is going to humor me, hopefully a lot of you realize what I'm going to do is w squared is equal to x squared plus v, notice it doesn't matter, but x squared plus v squared minus 2xv times the cosine of angle w. And I'm not memorizing, I'm just naturally translating and decoding that formula from the cosine law. Let's pause here for a second, and again, if you're watching at home, feel free to do whatever. Some students, unfortunately, they're so fixated on C that they can only see it as C. And that's fine too. But I'm trying to get you guys used to rereading. Any questions from the class, what I just did? So notice, this one is actually slightly easier than the example that we just did earlier. So the previous video, if you watched, you just sub in 11.2. We're going to square that, plus 10.5, we're going to square that, minus 2 times 11.2 times 10.5 times the cosine of angle 43 degrees. And this is where your biggest mistake is, ladies and gentlemen, is that you look here and you just copy it out. You actually have to experience it and try it yourself with your calculator. So I actually don't do this question slowly, especially for being grade 11. In grade 10, maybe you evaluated this, and then you evaluated this, and then you evaluated this coefficient, and then you evaluated this. That's how you do it in grade 10, but in grade 11, technically you should be able to enter this all exactly. I will repeat what you're supposed to do, so if you have a calculator, make sure you're setting degrees for the class, and if you're at home, I wish we could pop up the sharp calculator on the screen. I can't do that, I just have my calculator here. But you do 11.2, and you square that, plus 10.5, and you square that. And now I'm going to be careful here. Notice I'm at this stage here. Minus 2 times 11.2 times 10.5 times the cosine of 43 degrees. If you screw up though, just redo it. It's okay. But just make sure you have those operations, and it'll be off screen. And I'm going to just show Eden what I just did. Should I look something like that? Everyone's equal yet? You can't really see it, but if you really want to, you'll get the answer. And hopefully someone can double check that Mr. Chen is correct. W squared is equal to 63.675,60938. And if you didn't get that, just try to check again. Can someone double check that I got that right now? Thank you. Now some students, for some weird reason, they stop here. Don't stop here. Glad you understand. You don't have to copy the answer. That's the neat thing about your calculator. Notice I don't round here. I only round at the end. So you square both sides, and just to show Victor what I'm doing, I'm going to take the square root of the answer. That's where the A and S can be. I don't have to punch that in. Thank goodness. So if you did all that math, you just do that, and we get this answer for W, 7.979, but it's set to 1 decimal place, 8.0. And that should be the answer. And I think it's in centimeters, so I think that's what we got. And I think a lot of you know what I'm doing. With these dots here, they need approximate.